to Impact Wrestling one night before... this light always seems to jack. Sorry. The Wrestleverse of matches. Guys, this is the last show before Wrestleverse of matches. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Is it important to watch this Impact Wrestling, this episode? I'm going to tell you right now, for what I saw, you could skip this. I'm telling you now. Now, mind you, does it mean these storylines are 100% bad? No. Does this mean the matches were 100% bad? No. But I'm going to be honest here. Was this show structured well? No. Was the lighting done well? No. Was the camera work done well? No. Was the cinematic between Jonah and PCO done well? Fuck no. This show was a what the fuck did I just witness? It's not nice to curse. Now it's gotten too damn. What did I just witness? People say Impact Wrestling is on par with easily any other promotion like WWE, AEW, MLW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. When you look at this show here, this show, guys, before I even get started with this, I am telling you the truth. No matter, even though the matches were not bad, the promo segments were not bad. Yeah, the impromptu match of the Battle Royal for the women for a Tasha Steele wasn't 100% trash. Even though I'm not happy with the ending, because of a good reason, this can be skipped because the quality of production is so nasty. And I know people are going to say in the comments, I know you guys are going to do it. You're not going to listen to me. You're going to go watch it yourself. And being the way you are, most of you, you're going to say, dude, what are you complaining about? It was not that bad. It was a little annoying. Yeah, but it wasn't bad. Understand something. I say this again where none of you never listen. The majority of Impact fans are at home. Who gives a flying F about the people in the 2300 arena? Even though one of them, and I think I got a shot of her, she's in my face, her boobs look magnificent. It's one of the things you can always see in some show. There's going to be someone going to show something. It don't make a difference. That woman's chunky. She's showing a lot of boobie. And that's good for men as well as women. Both of you going to like it. But the point is this. Production is important to the general public because maybe 5% of your fans are at the arena. And I'm not even saying that this is 50, 100, 200,000. I'm just saying many people think the fans make the show, which they did. Most of them cheered, most of them booed, some stayed quiet. But majority of your fans are at home streaming. Do you not understand that nobody wants to see a show like this? Nobody wants to see a show most of the time like this. What is the point of getting a subscription if you only see it like this? Can you not understand? Can you not get it? This is one of the reasons why Impact Wrestling is in the position it's in. Because it never used to be like this. And I got something to say about the cinematic, but let's move on. The first match, Jonathan Gresham versus Kenny King. Now, did Kenny King talk well? He wasn't bad. Not going to say what he said. Was Jonathan Gresham talking well? Yeah, he talked well because he's setting this up for him to go up against Eddie Edwards at Rebellion. Now, I got to say this before I talk about the match briefly. You wonder what's going to happen with the ROH Championship. Tony now has a ROH. He's doing the Supercard tomorrow night, which I can't watch it if I'm going to do the Wrestleverse of matches. I can't. There's no way. I'm going to be able to watch it, make my notes, then do another set, make my notes, and then just film everything at different times. And then the next day, I got to do WrestleMania. That's too much. I will burn myself out, and I'm not going there. So I will probably do the Supercard probably on a Monday. But the point of this is this. Sooner or later, Gretcham's going to have to go to ROH and deal with that. They're going to have to either let him have the title and that's Tony Khan, that Impact Wrestling going to let Gretchen just drop the title there, or they're going to have to tell Impact, look, we're rebooting. Either give us a title or basically merge it with another title that you have to make something new. That's what I think could happen. That's what I'm saying. The old ROH merged with the title that currently Impact has or used to have to make something new that will help Impact. I'm not saying they'll do it, but that is the best way. Now, was the match fine? Kenny King made it very clear. He's not there for a real pure match. He's there simply to hurt a Gretchen. And you could see that that was the match. That's all it was. When you thought that Jonathan Gresham is going to do a match for the ROH title, it's under pure rules. And if Kenny King is not following the pure rules, that means that match is thrown out. And it would have been nice that Tom Philham had said that they're not doing pure rules. I don't remember him saying that. So they just went with what Kenny King was saying. That literally, that he's just going to do whatever the hell he wants. Kenny King's not supposed to strike somebody. When someone gets stuck into the ropes, they're supposed to say that is a fall. That didn't happen here, and they didn't say that it was going to be that way. So, that's what you get. I wasn't surprised Gretchen won. I wasn't surprised that he got attacked. I am wondering how far they're going to go with Rocky Romero with him. Would it be a tag team? Because we still got a while before Rebellion. They'll probably do some tag team matches with Kenny King and anyone else that he wants to be by his side. I'm just saying. Now, the Chump Challenge. This is one I don't understand. What was the point? What was the damn point of this match? You're trying to make a story, supposedly, you see I'm getting upset here. I am not truly a heavy advocate of Ziggy Dice. I like him. He's funny. When it comes to Johnny Swinger, he's funny. Both of them are funny. You would think that you would build them up into a situation that would make them special, that yes, there will be a tag team that's a joke tag team, but who says you can't make a joke tag team interesting? Supposing you got the Swingers dungeon where you're trying to train them. Why didn't you show more of the dungeon? Why did you just do it like this? And you have them do the Chump Challenge where you could have had some jobbers lose to them in basically making the jobbers look good and Swinger and Ziggy Dice look like heels that are just stupid but still win. And that would make sense. No, you bring out the Good Brothers, they're destroyed. What was the point of all this hype and interest in Johnny Swinger and Ziggy Dice when you do something like this? Yes, it supposedly gives something to the Good Brothers, but it doesn't, because they need a more credible team than something that was just thrown together instantly. Does that sound familiar, like WWE booking? Tell me it doesn't sound like WWE booking. Because it was. You just threw two guys together just to have them job, and you're going to keep those two guys together, and they're going to keep jobbing, when you should be building them into a comedic tag team that could be entertaining. You're just going to make them job like they're stupid. That makes no sense. And I'm not even saying I love Johnny Swinger or Ziggy Dice. I like Ziggy. I like Johnny. But I don't really care that much about them because they're comic relief when they're needed. You stick them both together like they're going to be needed. And now you do this? There is no long-term booking here. This makes no sense. Now let's move on. Let's move on to the Knockouts Battle Royal that seemed to be impromptu because I don't remember them talking about it last week. Now, mind you, if I'm wrong, tell me that they said it on air, not on their website. There's a difference. People like to hear things from the show. Tom and Aiden are supposed to talk about that. They're supposed to talk about it. But I don't remember them saying anything last week about a Battle Royal this week. Now, if I missed it, fine. Was the Battle Royal good? It was good to see all the women in the damn ring, which I got a shot of it in my face, and it just shows you how few women they got. Because that's all the women they got. Not counting a Mickie James. Not counting a Deonna Purrazzo, who did talk later in the night. That was practically every woman there other than them. Oh, and Cassie has been injured, so she couldn't work in the ring. So Jessie was in there by herself. She couldn't wrestle. And yeah, Jessie was saved by a Caleb with a K, even though the influence were knocked out. She was saved by him, and then eventually she was thrown out. But I gotta say this about Jessie. Jessie is very beautiful, just like Cassie. Jessie looks awkward in the ring, like Cassie. But if you see Jessie versus a Sienna Evans, Jessie is way better than a Sienna Evans, who's a big, large wrestler. Just because you're larger than other people, like Omos, does not mean that you're a good wrestler. Omos doesn't look good in the ring yet. I think he should have stayed in NXT longer to be really well trained, and he doesn't look like it. So when you see a Sienna Evans who's very similar to him, a very big-ass woman, but she shows no good ring ability. She doesn't. She should be going to a place where she can do better training. I really believe if she gets trained properly and wants to be trained properly, not like Nia Jax, the former Nia Jax, actually, I don't remember what her name is now, what she's going to go under, but the former Nia Jax, who legitimately didn't care about getting trained better. She stayed the same way she was, and she hurt almost a dozen women and one man, N-A-R Truth. Literally, she hurt him. So who is at the end? You had a Rosemary, who we haven't seen in the main title scene in a while. Fine. You had a Lady Frost and a Gazelle Shaw. I believe her name is Giselle. I think her name is Giselle. You bring, again, two of the newest women in, and you make them job out. Now, many people would say, dude, that's not jobbing out. They're the last two women there. Yes, you could say that. But let's be honest. Did you actually think either one of them was going to win over Rosemary? Think about it. Just for once, think. Think about it before you type. Did you actually think Gazelle Shaw was going to win? Did you actually think a Lady Frost was going to win after they both jobbed to Deonna Purrazzo, who had her own segment earlier that night, and it was made clear that she was dominant over both of them? They made that interview clear that there's barely anybody that can beat Deonna Purrazzo, and she needed to have two jobbers to win. Shaw and Frost look like bitches. And that makes me angry. That we've been begging Impact to bring in more women. More women. Bring in more women that have experience. Lady Frost easily has way more experience than Giselle Shaw. But what did you do with her? BTI, then finally get her on the main show after she jobs to Deonna, when she shouldn't have. And then she jobs first to Shaw, then Shaw jobs to her, then they both job to Deonna Purrazzo, and now they just job to Rosemary. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. Give me a reason I'm wrong. Tell me, why am I wrong? Because it don't look like I'm wrong. I'm just saying. Now, let's move on to the Aiden Prince, which we haven't seen in maybe 2 years, I think. At least a year and a half to 2 years easily. I haven't seen him in a while. And then you got Jungra. I'm mispronouncing his name because even though I see him, I'm very bad with names. You could say this about Jinda. He is a reboot of Muhammad Shira. If everyone remembers back when he came in, I think he came in 2014 to Impact Wrestling. Around maybe 2013 or 14. He looked monstrous and devastating. He had the look. He had the right mouthpiece at the time. He looked monstrous and evil. But in the end, he just never reached as far as many people wanted him to be. And our worst position on that is that he was typecast as muscle for only Indian wrestlers and managers. Tell me I'm wrong. When he came in, he's worked with a Dempsey Hit Squad. That's typecasting. He should have been with someone else. He worked with Sanjay Dutt. Typecasting, yes. It was when he had to go to India and he won the title there. But when he came back, wouldn't you work more better with him with someone else other than Indian wrestlers? It can't be because he can't speak freaking English, because he can. He's over in OVW as their TV champ, if I remember correctly. So I'm going like, what the frack with Muhammad Ali Shira. He may think he doesn't need to go any further than he is now because he's already got what he needed. He showed himself. Maybe that's as far as he wants to go. Or just that he's been so typecast, he feels like he can never get anywhere. Or both. But you see Gunza. And you see, and I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong, so don't worry, I know. You see him as a new Muhammad Ali Shira. Will Impact book this guy properly? Will it mean something? Was the match good? Yes. It wasn't a bad match, at least until they made this more about Morrissey and Brian Myers, who was on commentary again. I don't talk about Brian on commentary because he really is a no factor. This is about him dealing with Morrissey wanting to powerbomb his ass through a table with his own action figures. What did it do with Morrissey? What did I say about Morrissey that I was afraid of? That they put him in filler and do nothing with him. Am I not freaking Ostradamus? I warned you guys, didn't I? That he was going to float. I told you he was going to float. Just like Madman Fulton, which I'll get to in a minute. He's floating. He's working with Brian Myers. Is this storyline meaningful? No, not yet. You know why? The only way this is going to mean anything, which it really didn't mean anything in the beginning anyway, because yes, you had Morrissey dealing with Myers because of the learning tree, which has now been disbanded a long time ago, which doesn't make any sense why Morrissey would even be dealing with Brian Myers because there's no learning tree anymore. He already should have gotten what he needed against Brian Myers, but they got nothing for either one of them. So they stuck them together and they kept them together for filler. Filler. That's what you got. Now, let's move on to, how can I say this about Josh Alexander and Madman Fulton? Did they book the match correctly? Yes. Madman Fulton was not supposed to win. Ace looking like a bitch and running because he didn't want to take a chance of Josh hurting him. That makes sense. Because he's going to have his match soon on Rebellion. He doesn't want to, well, I think either Rebellion or at the Multiverse of Matches. He didn't want to take a chance of getting hurt. He'd rather back off and let Fulton get destroyed and get his ankle broke, which supposedly that's what happened. But here's the thing for me. You got the opening where you see at Destiny Wrestling, which is good to see, which I always say, if you got other people and other promotions, show at least a minute or two, a snippet to set something up. You see Moose spearing Josh's wife. I'm fine with that. Perfectly fine, which it should be. He's screwing with his family. Fine. Then you got Josh going to Impact, making it clear, I want him. Goes to Scott. Scott said, don't worry, he's not here. And he says, I don't want to hear that. Give me Moose. He said, no. I'm going to talk to I'm talking to the bosses that have Moose stripped. And he said, no. And he grabs him by his collar. He said, do not strip his ass. I want him. Give me Moose. And he's saying, all right, you want Moose? Fine. And he made it very clear, watch me deal with Fulton. Now, here's the thing that I know they messed up on. Instead of Josh coming out in his regular ring attire, and I know one of my subscribers is going to say, oh, he looks like a 90s piece of numbnuts. You really got problems, my friend. And the only reason I'm even saying this is because I know I'm going to have to. Because it needs to be stated that in this situation, he shouldn't have been wearing his ring attire. He shouldn't have been wearing his street clothes. That's the truth. You're talking about an extremely unstable wrestler who is so angry he shouldn't even came out in his ring trunks or anything that he normally wears to go in the ring. He should have came out in those clothes he came in and without any ring gear and just beat the living crap out of Fulton and beat him and then broke his ankle, supposedly. That is the way it should be. It should have been that way. There should have been no question to ask that he's so unstable at this point that he will not care about getting the ring unless it's Moose. He will get in ring attire. No. He will just be in street clothes and destroy Moose. He has to. Doing it like this doesn't make it special. It's wrong. Was the build up into the match correct? Yes. Was the outcome of the match correct? Yes. But was the clothes that he wore going with his character at this moment? No. So I know the guy there is going to leave a comment saying, you know, I was right. Well, guess what, numbnuts? I'm calling you numbnuts. Because I agree with you because of a wrong decision in storytelling does not mean I agree with you in absolutely everything. Let's get to Marsha Slamovich. I know I'm not going to be liked on this one, but I got to do it. Marsha Slamovich versus the jobber. I don't remember her name. I believe her name was Abby. I think her name was Abby. Can't remember. I think I got a picture of her phone in my face. Let's make this clear, guys. Marsha Slamovich. Do you care about Marsha winning when literally they had to change her music because of the Soviet Union War? Well, Ukraine-Russian war. They changed her music. That was one of her strong suits. They changed that mess. Then, simply put, she's the only one that gets jobbers. When you got Shaw, who should have gotten jobbers, and she worked with Frost. You should have got Frost working with jobbers. She worked with Shaw. What about them? We want women in the knockouts division to be elevated and built properly. You're not getting it. Marsha Slamovich is basically filler now. You know why? There's only a certain amount of time that you must do something with her. She's not Goldberg. I don't care what anyone says. Marsha Slamovich is simply not a Goldberg. She doesn't have the ability of a Jordan Grace. Sorry, guys. Marsha Slamovich cannot lift over 400 freaking pounds. She is not a Jordan Grace. She is not a Havoc, who is a towering big-ass woman who's actually pretty fast and strong in the ring. She's not. She's not Deonna Purrazzo, who has 2 damn titles and proved how great of a wrestler she is. She's not. She's not even Alicia Edwards, who has a husband who's considered right now the leader of Honor No More. What is Marsha Slamovich? She's a woman who's brought in with some very high colored hair, who did have a really cool opening, who is a very tough Soviet woman, Russian woman, who now cannot be emphasized because the war with Ukraine has taken that out of the equation. You saying that, watch, she'll be built properly. Guys, she's going to keep being fed jobbers at the 2300 arena until they leave, at least until the tapings are finished. And then what? What will you get with a Marsha Slamovich if she doesn't talk? She doesn't do any backstage segments. They don't do anything with her in a storyline. She is not a Goldberg. She's not Goldberg. She's not Hulk Hogan. She's not Macho Man Randy Savage. She is not Scott Hall. She is not Diesel. She is not Medusa. She is not a Mickie James. She is not Alundra Blaze. She is not a Jazz. She's not Fly. She's not any of those things. She's not. Her main thing was her Soviet background, showing how tough she is, and now it's been stripped from her because of the war. So what does that mean? They must walk away from her being a Soviet Union citizen before. They got to walk away from it now because they got no choice, because they're not going to promote unless they turn her heel and that she promotes Soviet Union. Well, calm down. The only way that her actual heritage will work here, being from the Soviet Union, they would have to turn her into Nikolai Volkov, flat out, and start walking out with the Soviet flag and saying what's going on with Ukraine is the greatest thing that ever happened. My people will defeat them. Soviets forever. That is the only way that the current way she's booked would work. And you know Impact is not going there. No matter what the hell you say below, I'm going to tell you, Impact's got nothing for her because of the war. unless they change her out and no longer go with the Soviet stuff, all you're going to see is her come out, dominant with that hair, destroy somebody, and walk away. Maybe she'll get a shot at the Durenas title. Maybe she'll get a shot at the H title, counting if Deonna Purrazzo still has it. But in the end, she'll always be the same thing. She's going to go out there to slaughter somebody and do nothing. You know who used to be like that and who still is? Guess who? And it's on AEW. Lance Archer. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. You got Marsha Slamovich about to turn into a Lance Archer who looks dominant, destructive, but never gets anywhere. I'm just saying. Let's move on. Now, let's see. PCO. Oh, here we go. I got it. Hang on. I'm literally leaving this cut in my video on purpose because the way this Canon M6 works, you only get 30 minutes before it turns off and you got to reset the camera again. I'm doing it now because I want to make sure you know I'm going to talk about this shit. This was the cinematic fight between PCO and Jonah. What the actual fuck was that? You see the shot, it's in my face. I think I got maybe 2 shots or 3. I don't know. Whatever shots, they've already gone. If you agree that this was garbage, thank you. If you think that was great and you were fine with it, what are you smoking? That was the most garbage cinematic you can do. When the Hardys did the ultimate deletion, they made sure everything was seen, that it was a spectacle, that it was special. Even when they had to do inside shots, when they were up against each other in their own damn ring in an open area, they made sure that it was a spectacle, that you could see everything, that the lighting was done correctly, that when anything is done, it means something. What do we get with PCO and what we get with Jonah? Nothing. Yes, they were fighting in the back, in the dark. And if anybody says that's the way it's supposed to be, no. AEW did it correctly. WWE did it correctly. Matt and Jeff Hardy did it correctly when they were working with Impact Wrestling. They knew how to work the cameras. The reason the Ultimate Deletion was so damn good. And when, remember this, in WWE, when the New Day went up against the Wyatts, they bit off on what happened with the Ultimate Deletion. We all knew it. We knew they bit off the Ultimate Deletion. We knew they did a lot of the same thing the Ultimate Deletion did. They made sure the camera work was done right. They made sure the lighting was decent enough that they can work at night. This was stupid. It started out great when you see PCO screaming for Jonah in the back or the parking lot of the 2300 Arena, wherever it was. Then it went downhill fast because, one, the lighting wasn't good. I think there was only 2 people there, one running the camera and one who was doing the damn lights. And that was the most stupidest thing you could have done. You're telling me, and if anybody says that you don't understand how it works, yes, I do. I'm not stupid. I am a wrestling reviewer. I may have one light here that is overhead, but at least I know where I need to position the light. Where this camera that you see right here, I at least know where to position to give me at least enough light to see. I also got a good camera, a Canon M6 that gives me this and can give me a wide shot. And you can see right here where it's just outside where my presentation thing is. I never hit it. You see me. Yes, I do this because you can get to see me a little more better. I don't have a lot of room in the room that I do my shooting of my videos, but you know you can see me. I am in frame. I am not so close like this. It is stupid. And when you see the shots I already put up, maybe I'll throw them up again. This was a travesty to cinematic fights. They did it better when it came to Eddie Edwards and Morrissey in the back in a parking lot months ago. They did it better. Who the hell was working the camera work then? Why isn't that person here now? Where the fuck is he or she? I don't give a damn. They deserve to get roasted for this. This was a travesty. It was like someone said, you know what, before we air this, we need to add something else. Before what is it? The multiverse of matches. You see I'm getting angry. We need to throw something extra on Impact to make it great. Hey, I got an idea. Let's do a backyard or some place where PCO and Jonah could be fighting, because we got to make Jonah and PCO mean something. Yeah, just get the cameraman and a light and let's get it done. Really? That shows how Bush League, or better yet, bootleg Impact Wrestling is. That's bootleg shit. That's worse than Hog. That's worse than GCW. I'm going to shoot her ass out, and you don't like it? Kiss my black ass. Because I am part black. I can say that I got a black ass because actually it is dark. Oh my goodness, which it is. I'm part black. There's some parts of me that are dark. But the point is, you can kiss it because we've seen it better in other places. It's as bad as GCW's work, Hog's work. MLW even had bad work, but damn it, that was stupid. That didn't feel like it was life. That didn't feel like it, because in life, you don't want that in wrestling all the time. You want to be able to see something that is like life. You don't want to make it so damn close that it's too much like life that you can't see a damn thing. It was stupid. Let's move on to the last thing, which is Motor City Machine Guns versus the Bullet Club, their rematch. The rematch where there was controversy the last time when, guess what, someone did get pinned. There was no 1, 2, 3 and the shoulder went up. There was an actual pin. And Shelly said it best, when your shoulders are down, it was a pin. It don't make a difference. You came in right at 3. That's what it was said. You have to do it before 3, not on 3. Kiss it. So we got the match, which was fine when you could see it, because most of it was like this. Like every match on the card, most of them was too damn close to see. But in the end, guess what? Who won? Bullet Club. 50-50 booking. Anybody? Did you need Bullet Club to win clean? Bullet Club gets their win back. Did they need to win clean? No. They could have cheated. Then at least it would have been better that way. But now you got them both winning against each other, which means what? Rubber match? Unless there's a stip, which is going to help the Motor City Machine Guns or the Bullet Club, it feels like 50-50 booking. What does this really give Jay White and Chris Bay? Really, this is a big question. Yes, we are going to start having matches that's supposed to lead to get to Violence by Design. I understand that. We have barely enough... Calm down. We have barely enough tag teams to do it. Because they're not hiring enough tag teams. Especially if they're going to be jobbing like this. But the point is, I know they want to make them look good. I know that this could still be good. I'm not saying that 50-50 booking all the time is great. It is... You had last year 50-50 booking for the Bullet Club when it came to Hikuleu and either El Fantasma or Chris Bay. That happened then too. The problem for me is that they should have won the titles last year. They never did. So this year, it feels like they're spinning the wheels with the Bullet Club. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest here. Can they still change things? Yes. And I'm making it very clear. They can still change things. But I don't see anything going to happen yet. If ever. Maybe by Slammiversary in June or July. Maybe. Maybe. And that's if they do it. Because I don't think they will. But it's just me. And I hope you enjoy this Impact review. Please give me a comment below. So next time you see me, you will be seeing me, if I can watch it, which I probably will, the multiverse of matches will be what I'm going to watch. I will not be watching Supercard like everybody else. I will be trying to do the multiverse of matches at 10 o'clock. Now, I know people say, well, the Supercard can come on to 8 to maybe 10 or 10:30. No, I'm going to do one show at a time. I don't want to do one back, then another one back and burn myself out. That's not what I'm going to do. I want to enjoy what I'm watching and review it. Not just go clunk one show, Clunk, another show. Look what's happening with WrestleMania on Saturday. They're going to be doing, I think it was Stand and Deliver. I can't remember the name of the NXT show. That's going to be on well before WrestleMania. It starts at 1. And counting on how long it goes, is it going to be 2 hours? Is it going to be 3? That means people are crazy enough to watch it. It's going to see it from 1 o'clock Eastern here in New York, all the way up until maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. And then they got to deal with WrestleMania after that, which will go on at maybe 7 or 8 and last until maybe 12. 11 to 12 o'clock. That's madness. I'm not doing it. But this is just me. Peace.